When you join this house, your chance of going home is about 70%. All of us are actually queued to go home. Only a few of us have been lucky to do 1-2 consecutive terms.
To be told, and allow me to say it in Swahili, utatupata 2027. Utaenda nyumbani 2027. Yet you go home every day. I don't know if there's a member of parliament who doesn't go home every day. You go home every day. So nobody should threaten you that you will go home because you go to your home. The question you should ask yourself when you are here, the day you are not serving as a member of parliament, how shall things be for you?
You are bashed, you are criticized, you lose your professional ethics, you lose everything that you have earned over the years as a professional before you join politics. Now, what remains in this difficult world of politics, Madam Speaker, is just like the other state officers. Ask yourself, why is the member of parliament, who is a state officer, treated differently by SRC, by Treasury, by anybody else, Madam Speaker? It's simply because members of parliament fear the world outside there.
If you don't want them, instead of bashing them every day, even when you see a member of parliament buying even a good shoe, you say, sasa ya nakula pesa yetu ya CDF. We need to get this mentality from the Kenyans. Because members of parliament are our own sons and daughters, are our own husbands and wives, are our own girlfriends, are our own boyfriends, are our own mpango akandos, whatever you call it. And they support quite a lot, especially the men.
You don't need to have a mpango ya kando when the law allows you to marry as many wives as you want. So, and because we are an honorable house, Madam Speaker, we cannot have mpango ya kando. It is not possible. These members cannot even fathom that such a situation can occur.
Immediately you join parliament, immediately you are elected, you are given an option as a member of parliament, either to be paid gratuity or to be paid pension. So once you join year one, you'll be able to wait, because before the election, you don't qualify for pension. So automatically, term one, you are on gratuity. But in case you are elected term 2, this bill now will open the door for you to choose whether you want to go gratuity or pension. Because once you choose you want to go gratuity, then there will be no need to pay back the one you had been paid. You serve another term and you earn your gratuity again. So you'll have earned two times your gratuity. Currently, it's automatic. When you come a second term, you have no choice but to pay back the gratuity so that you become pensionable. This one opens doors for you members so that you can make that choice. And it's going to be good so that when you come back, you are not being forced to just pay back the money. You will be able to choose. Now, when you go to clause 5, clause 5 says that once now you determine you'll be paid pensions, then that will pave the way for the necessary deductions in line with the pension rules or the SRC recommendations. Because once you are pensionable, then you also, it's a contributory scheme. You'll be contributing, and then the government will be contributing the other share. So automatically they will be able, now clause 5 says, once you choose to be pensionable, then the necessary deductions will be done. Then the other important clause is clause 8, which I was saying, it talks about you, once you decide on a gratuity, then you get your that 1%. Now, another important bit which is happening. Our current Act, honorable members, talks about you can only access your pension when you are age above 45. So if you serve 2 terms, and it happens that by the time you clear your second term and you are elected out, you are voted out, you are still below 45. The truth of the matter is you'll have qualified for pension, but because you are below 45, you'll not be able to be paid your pension. So you have to wait till you hit 45. But now we have introduced a clause 10 where we are saying, in case you retire on medical grounds, where a board of medical doctors has confirmed that you cannot continue with your work on medical grounds, and at that time you are pensionable, this bill is saying if we pass it, so long as you have retired on medical grounds, and the Board of Medical Doctors has certified to that effect, then you can be paid your dues even when you are below 45 years, so long as it's on medical grounds.
If you ask these ladies, when they fill their next of kin forms, 90% of ladies in this country will either fill their children or their mothers, but not their husbands. It is a common practice. So, Honorable Speaker, this is progressive. Those ladies of those honorable ladies who are here and members of parliament, please declare your husbands so that they become recognized and known widowers. In the event God takes your life and you are still serving, or you are serving, allow your man, your husband, to enjoy the pension, because whether you like it or not, that man has supported you in your political journey. That man supported you in one way or another. Even if he remarries or many other wives, I mean, it's none of your business. Let them enjoy the pension. Honorable Speaker, the other progressive part that we also need to look at is the issue of children. Yes, the Constitution provides for children is enabled below the age of 18, regardless whether it's a boy or a girl. But, Honorable Speaker, we must make some accommodation. How that is going to be done, the legal minds can assist us. Many of the children nowadays stay in our homestead because of college and the rest, because of going to university, almost to the age of 23, 20-something. So if they're excluded from any benefits of this nature, then, Honorable Speaker, we make it difficult, we make life difficult for them. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, to be honest, former members of parliament go through a lot. That's a fact. You walk around, especially those who do not have any profession to fall back once you leave, they live a miserable life. You find them hovering around here, looking for a cup of tea, looking for something like this. A member of parliament is a honorable member of this society. Society must agree to treat them in some way with respect and take care of them at the end of their service.
So whether it also envisage whether there will be members of parliament who will be single ladies who are not married or who have divorced or separated from their husbands. And it's also good to encourage them, such men and women who have divorced or separated from their husbands, to designate somebody. And I am not naming names, but I am sure there is somebody who is listening to me. You can designate even a colleague to take care of your children when you are not there. But also to encourage all of us to continue contributing. For young parliamentarians, increasingly, both in this house and in the other house in the Senate, younger members of parliament are being elected. The Honorable Toto, I think, was elected at 20-something, 24. Meaning even if she served for 3 terms, she will still be below 45 years. But she would be eligible to pension, and after 3 terms, she would have to wait for another 6 years to access her pension. Now, we are creating a provision where the Honorable Toto, after serving her 3 terms, can still access her pension below the age of 45, Honorable Speaker, which is a good thing because, as Honorable Makali Mulu said, you may fall ill or something may happen. You may even be faced with an accident that incapacitates you and you are not able to work, but you have pension that is being kept somewhere by an administrator of a pension scheme, and you cannot access it until you get to the age of 45. You may even die before getting to 45 and you leave your money being enjoyed by others, Honorable Speaker.
Retirement on medical grounds, I would like to confirm that it also includes people living with disabilities, those who join with disabilities, and also those who get disabled when they are serving. I say that because if you remember Honorable Denita Gati, the former Migori women rep, we joined with her in 11th Parliament. She was well, but in 12th Parliament, she was a PWD. So this provision on on Article number 9 should also include PWDs, so that if you want to retire on medical grounds, the PWD aspect is also considered a medical ground, so that if you get the disability when you're serving, or even when you join when you're serving, you have that leeway to be considered at that point. And I also want to agree, Madam Speaker, that the issue of widows and widowers has been discriminatory, and I have said it's because, first of all, it was not ensured that women could serve as members of parliament, but it is very important that both spouses are included. It's also true, as Honorable Nyikala said, that statistically, the men live shorter lives. They have a shorter lifespan, generally, than women. But it's also because men usually have a backup plan, Madam Speaker, and not many stay widowers. In fact, there are very few who stay widowers. The moment their wife dies, it doesn't take long. Within a year, and you look around, even bishops, every kind of men in this country, they won't finish a year, they'll have another wife. But we have so many widows that actually are left to watch their children until they're adults. So I think that was the relationship. But I think times have changed, and we are here, and widowers should be included as widows and given the same rights, Madam Speaker. It has also helped to reduce conflict in families, because when you write that person, when you are doing your paperwork, then all the others that have been canvassed by Honorable Chepkonga, and he said clearly, members of parliament have no mipango ya kandos, but if they happen to be there, then it will be easy to case that case out, Madam Speaker, because they will be the one on record as your spouse, and you'll save your family and save your children from embarrassment and from matters that can be avoided. Madam Speaker, there is the issue of post-retirement medical scheme, and I think we agree that after you leave parliament, normally when you're going for election, Madam Speaker, when you're just at the end, in fact, your supporters, even when they know you're going to lose, they will tell you to take a loan somewhere so that you finish this thing, and they know you're going nowhere. So when you lose, Madam Speaker, you lose, you have a loan, you have auctioneers on your door, and sometimes that's why you get members going for their gratuity, because they are desperate. So I think getting this option becomes very important on post-retirement medical scheme. You have a choice to contribute, and I think what Majority Leader has said is also very important, so that when you are able to, it is not so much to contribute 10,000, 20,000, so that at the end of your term, and all of us, Madam Speaker, I mean, the statistics that we've had is that the turnover of parliamentarians is 70%. You'll be very lucky to come back to this house. In fact, when you join this house, your chance of going home is about 70%. All of us are actually queued to go home. Only a few of us have been lucky to do 1, 2 consecutive terms. So it is important that instead of begging, when you're out and begging your colleagues, trying to raise some small monies for small procedures in the hospital, you can be able to do that when you can. And this will help us a big deal, Madam Speaker, to give us an option to do that contribution. And when you are out there and you have issues of medical care, you will not have to call a harambe, because not many people will, first of all, contribute to a member of parliament. You cannot call a harambe in your backyard. It is not possible. You have to come to this house to beg people who understand what you're going through to contribute to you, Madam Speaker. It's the same thing when you lose, that even the traffic to your house just cuts off, Madam Speaker. So this will help us to cushion ourselves in terms of getting medical care, and it will go a long way to ensure that we are taken care of, and rightfully so, and not from the public coffers, Madam Speaker, but from own contribution that we make from our salaries, Madam Speaker.
You are bashed, you are criticized, you lose your professional ethics, you lose everything that you have earned over the years as a professional before you join politics. Now, what remains in this difficult world of politics, Madam Speaker, is just like the other state officers. Ask yourself, why is the member of parliament, who is a state officer, treated differently by SRC, by Treasury, by anybody else, Madam Speaker? It's simply because members of parliament fear the world outside there. I want to ask you, when you are first elected, the assumption is you are the most powerful. The assumption is you are the most popular. The assumption is you are the most handsome. The assumption is you are the most beautiful. The assumption is you are everything. So when you come here, you lose all those identities. You live here minus your husband. You live here minus your wife. You live here minus your health. You live here minus your wealth. You live here minus your popularity. And I can tell you, by the time you exit there, you will be a pound, you will be a nobody. So you'll be regretting outside there and say, I wish I did this. I wish I did this. You have an opportunity. Don't fear. You are a state officer. You have the same constitutional entitlements like any other state officer pursuant to the current constitution. Why have you not passed this? I am a member of the committee, the finance committee, that will be bringing amendments. And I can assure you, we have put in place the best brains. I don't want to prejudice. We will give you the best product out of this. We are consulting the PSC, Parliamentary Service Commission. We are consulting the pension department. We are consulting the best brains within the parliamentary legal system so that we refine this bill in the next stage, including giving the member of parliament treatment that befits not only as a state officers, but as an elected leader who has served one of the best institutions called the August House. When those amendments come in your share numbers and support it.